What is happening, my friends? Welcome to the Arington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, my friends, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's show, obviously, we're going to talk a little bit about this, a little bit about that. You know how we do, right? News in the world of politics, a lot of news in the world of politics. I'll throw in, do I have any pop culture? Do I have any pop culture news? Yeah, I guess we can. Yeah, I guess I got a little something in store for you here on the program. Look, as always, my friends, thank you so much for taking 1 hour of your time to chime in to the show. I truly appreciate that. As you know, we are growing each and every step of the way. I see growth in our subscribers, our listenerships, our viewership. So I just want to say thank you as always. Please continue to support by either by watching us, by listening to us, by following us on our social media platforms. Share with a friend, share with family. We want to keep on giving you that great content. It's content that you can look. This is simple, backyard hanging with the family, cookout style, over drinks. I mean, we're just giving it to you raw. We're giving it to you unfiltered, and we want to keep you guys informed because our world, y'all, we have so many ways and this that people throw information to you, but it's like, okay, give us relatable stuff, give it to us in layman's terms. Don't just give us this and that. No, give it to us, give it to us real. Don't just give us the headline, give us the details, give us the deets. All right. So yeah, ways you can watch the Arington Gavin, or ways you can tune into the program. We drop new episodes weeknights, Monday through Fridays, available on all digital and streaming platforms. You can watch us on streaming platforms of YouTube as well as Rumble, and also by via Goatverse TV. On the Goatverse TV network, you can tune into the Arington Gavin Show. We are there. We have episodes airing on their platform. Honored to be a part of that growing network. You can download the app, available on the App Store or Google Play Store, as well as on Roku and Amazon Fire. So there's multiple ways you can support Goatverse TV by downloading the app. I truly appreciate that. As I mentioned earlier, you can find the Arington Gavin Show on YouTube as well as Rumble. Now, if you prefer to listen to us, there's multiple ways you can do so by listening to us on wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on all major podcast platforms, as well as our friends are one of our radio affiliates, WDJY 99.1 FM, straight talk out of the metro Atlanta area. We air the show on their stations Monday through Fridays, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to support and tune into that as well. Let's see here. Oh, as I mentioned, more ways you can support by following us on our social media platforms. Arington Gavin Show, the Arington Gavin Show on Instagram, Blue Sky, X, as well as Substack. So those are just some other platforms you can tune into us, where we give you great content there, and stuff we can't always share or have the time to share. It's not that we can't share, but we don't have the time to share it here on this show, because obviously 1 hour goes by so fast. And so I want to make sure I keep y'all up to speed, because so much stuff happens off the drop of a dime, literally off the drop of the dime. So I always try to, like, ooh, this just happened, let me keep you posted on this. Ooh, that just happened, let me keep you posted on that. I'm just here being another resource, being another avenue where you can get some information from, opinionated information, by the way, because look, I'm no expert. I don't want the experts to say, well, he doesn't know anything. Look, I didn't say I did. I'm just saying I'm sharing my opinion on this, just like we all are entitled of our opinions. All right. So before we move forward, I do want to shout out some of our proud supporters of the Arington Gavin Show, like our friends over at Priority Ford. That's right. Looking for the best deal on Ford vehicles? At Priority Ford, they make your car buying experience smooth, easy, and exciting. From powerful trucks like the Ford F-150 to versatile SUVs like the Ford Explorer, they've got the perfect ride for your lifestyle. And with Priority for Life, you get complimentary oil changes, state inspections, and more. As guess what? For as long as you own your vehicle. Plus, they have financing options to fit every budget. So why wait? Be sure to go now. Visit online at priorityford.com, or if you happen to be in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area, go stop by in person. Located on Military Highway in Norfolk, Virginia. Tell them that Arington sent you. Look, my friends, your dream car is waiting. Priority Ford, where you always come first. Want to shout out the team over there. Shout out Mr. James Church, dear friend of mine. Him and his amazing team out there takes good care of my ride, as I am a member of the Ford family, and I will continue to be that, American made as well. And so, and with all these Trump tariffs, I guess American made is where you want to go to, because he's making it hard on these foreign vehicles with these tariffs, man. It's a trip. But I want to thank them for being a proud supporter of the Arington Gavin Show. All right, my friends, we are going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have our fun fact of the day, and then we're going to get going with some of our stories, some of our headlines. Well, you know what? Actually, let's do this. Let's change up the format. Let me go ahead and do our fun fact now, and then we'll go ahead and take a commercial break, and we'll come back with more. So let's go ahead and get our fun fact started. Brought to you by the Arington Gavin Show. So, since we're talking about cars, did y'all know that the world's best-selling car is none other than the Toyota Corolla? Did you know that? With over 50 million units sold since its launch in 1966. I did not know that it was in existence that long. But I will say this. Toyota is a very respected company. I haven't heard any issues from folks that are Toyota owners or has had Toyotas in the past. I'm a truck. I like when it comes to Toyota, I'm a fan of the trucks. So the Tacomas, the Tundras. I love the trucks, and I always hear great things about them too. Now, I don't think I've ever really driven. I've driven one. I think I've driven a rental once. I mean, hey, good car, good, good long lasting vehicle. The long lasting ones is, to me, the ones that it always doesn't, how can I say it? Doesn't get the proper recognition, right? So, like, my wife loves Subaru. That was her first car. She still has her car, and it is a car. I'm like, babe, it's time to upgrade someone. And it's like, no, it's still good, and it is. It's still in good condition. And so, I think we live in a society now where it's like, I want to have the flashy looking vehicle. I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of the American made cars, or just the quote unquote, first timer cars, what's going to be your first car, or Honda or Toyota. A lot of those vehicles are starting to have a luxury look to it, and it's benefiting. I remember my first car was almost about to be the Honda Civic. I really like the Honda Civic, and then my pops took me to look at a Nissan Versa. I like, man, is you crazy? I can't be trying to look. I'm trying to look cool for the ladies when I get my car. I can't be rolling up in no Versa. Ugh. Yeah, just thinking about it gives me PTSD. I'm like, no. So I was a blessed kid. My first vehicle was a BMW X3. Yes, it was a white. Would you call it an off white? It wasn't like a pearl white. It was an off white. Had beige interior. I mean, I look. I thought I was a stuff man. I thought I was a stuff, and that car lasted me for from high school through college. And it was good. It was good. But let me not, again, take away the message on, hey, Toyota Corolla has been the world's best-selling car, again, since its existence, since 1996. So that was our fun fact of the day, brought to you by the Arington Gavin Show. Yeah, welcome. All right, now we can officially do our our commercial break. All right, my friends, we'll have a lot more show for you here. You are tuning in to the Arington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, that's that new GoVerse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
That's right, my friends. Shout out to GoatVerse TV. You can also tune into the episodes of the Arington Gavin Show available on GoatVerse TV. Be sure to download the app. It's free. App Store, Google Play Store, Amazon Fire, Roku. Oh, there's multiple ways. Follow them on Instagram at GoatVerse TV app. Look, let me get it going, y'all. With let's see. I want to talk about these Trump tariffs. I want to start off by talking about these Trump tariffs because we're starting to see some effects of the Trump tariffs. I've spoken about it on the show about the reciprocal tariffs that he has brought upon other countries. I'm talking 34% tax on this side, 40% of tariffs on that side, 10%. I mean, just tariffs on everybody, right? Now, guess who's receiving the most hit because of this? Yes, the American people, which means let's start saving our money. So let's start saving our pennies because we could possibly be entering into a recession. Prices are already increasing, right? Economy was already not the best in the previous administration. So folks, and please spare me those who will say, well, that's false narrative because it was the best of this. And look, there's been stats to show or data that will show, hey, look, this is how it was in comparison to the previous administration, to the previous administration. But at the end of the day, who did the majority vote for the next presidency? Trump. And trust and believe, it wasn't just because they thought he was he was a jokester or they felt bad for him, because no, economy was a big priority. So obviously, if that was a big priority in this last election, guess what? That means the economy wasn't at its best. And guess what? It's still not its best. It could be getting even worse. All right, because now Trump wants to tax the allies, and now they're gonna be like, oh, is that right? So now we're gonna have to raise the prices on y'all, which means yes, American consumers and business owners are now gonna have to pay more. Prices, grocery prices, equipment, this and that and the other will be a hell of a lot more. People don't think that. People are starting to regret that vote. Let me kind of explain a little more about this. Let's see here. So let me share this soundbite for you. This was actually, and it's interesting because it's supporters of Trump, folks on the right. I have a couple of clips. This first clip I'll share with you, founder of Barstool Sports, David Portnoy. Here's what he had to say in regards to in the recent issues with Trump policies and these tariffs. So let me go ahead and share you this soundbite, and we'll talk on the other side.
Trump has put his tariffs all over the place, get some wacky formula and do tariffs. And everything's in the shitter because of it. I'm down $7 million. Trump has put it.
Excuse the language on that, my friends. But did you hear that? He's down with the tariffs. He's down $7 million. And you know what? It's funny because Portnoy, he is I don't even know what is he registered as. I've seen him out multiple times, obviously on Fox News and a lot of right-leaning networks. He is very much conservative. I would say he leans more Republican than liberal, but he has been vocal when it comes to stuff he finds when he finds issues within this new administration. So, the whole Signal Gate scandal where the war plans was accidentally sent. Well, it was sent through a chat that they had forgot that, there's a journalist on here. So that got leaked. And so he criticized them for that. Now, obviously, he doesn't seem happy the fact that he's down $7 million. I mean, I don't even like losing $5. better alone $7 million. Good gracious. All right. So another person I would like to bring up. So that was his take on that. Let me bring up another one, right? Ben Shapiro, the co-founder of the Daily Wire, host of the Ben Shapiro Show, right-wing conservative pundit host. He is sharing. He has some frustration about this. Let me go ahead and show you this clip.
Yesterday, President Trump declared that it was, in fact, Liberation Day, his giant tariff policy that he just dropped on the market unilaterally, probably unconstitutionally. Trump's reciprocal tariffs impose hundreds of billions of dollars in new taxes on Americans, be the largest tax increase since the Revenue Act of 1968. One of the biggest tax increases on American consumers in the history of America. And it's going to cost American consumers. It will cost American producers who use inputs from other countries. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted immediately more than 1,000 points. The S&P 500 plummeted more than 3%. The NASDAQ plummeted almost 4.5%. There are real world implications for this sort of stuff. Trade wars are, in fact, not good and not easy to win, particularly if you don't actually have a plan. It is predicated on a bad idea of how international trade works. A fundamental misunderstanding of trade deficits. Trade deficits they're an accounting procedure. Trade deficits have pretty much nothing to do with the health of an economy. I can name you a period in American history where there was a fairly large surplus in America's balance of trade. The entire Great Depression. Yesterday, President Trump declared that it was, in fact, Liberation Day, his giant tariff policy that he just dropped.
So you hear the frustration, right, in Ben Shapiro's voice. You sense that frustration, right? Now, here's the funny thing. Did those guys, did they not expect Trump to do that? Were they fooled? Were they bamboozled? Were they like, hold up, this is not what we talked about here, Don. Come on. We didn't talk about this. See, here's my issue. Here's my issue. And this is why I've always told folks is sometimes you can't always just think about what benefits you as an individual. You always have to look at the overall, like what benefits all people. And that's just my heart. I'm like, I know I will be all right. I know my family will be all right. But what about the overall view? Are these folks going to be all right? Are these and what Trump does is he does things that aligns with his own benefit, his wealthy friends, and he could care less about the little man. But now, see, in this aspect, it's affecting his wealthy friends. And they're just like, wait a minute, what are we talking about, Don? What are we talking? Now, look, it is still fairly early in the administration, but at the end of the day, Trump, his mouth getting him in trouble again. He continues to say, it will be down first day on the job. All right, we're going to be quicker, faster than any other administration. We're going to get this done. It's going to be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, that's what I'm going to do. Like he's very confident with himself, extremely cocky. And now with these tariffs, there's been folks who have responded to them, but look, he's not the only one I want to there's another gentleman I want to bring up to you. Let's see here. Where is it at? CNBC host Jim Cramer was recently speaking with Aaron Burnett on CNN about the issues going on with this. So let me go ahead and share you this soundbite. There's a lot of sound bites. I want you all to hear the reaction from folks from all sides of the aisle. Because here's the thing. People are like, wait a minute. Why are we doing this? And the interesting thing is, even folks within the GOP is also not happy with this because a lot of their constituents, right, Midwestern areas, farmers, They are folks out in Maine. There's so many individuals, West Virginia, so many red states where their constituents are like, okay, this is gonna affect me and my business. He needs to get this, nip this in the bud. I mean, stock markets is plummeting. I've never been into stocks, man. Why? Because I really don't understand it. I like to invest in realistic things. Now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of folks that made a ton of money off the stock markets. People can turn from, one day they'll be a millionaire, and because they invested this, boom, off to being a billionaire. I mean, did y'all hear about the founder of Newsmax? After Newsmax went public, he's now officially a billionaire. So, hey, it could happen, if you play your cards right. But let me go ahead and play you this by CNBC's Jim Cramer. This is what he had to say in regards to the tariffs.
They really did over and over again. The president said, listen, it's going to be reciprocal. So you do it, we do it. And that was going to be so good. And I really believed in it. And I feel like a sucker tonight because I am not a free trader and I do not believe in free trade. And I was just as tough, if not tougher than his people, but they screwed it up and they really they did it a totally ill-advised way. And I was very let down as someone who really truly believes that free trade is awful for the American working person. This is what they came up with. Geez, come on, have some gumption, have some math.
I mean, how in the world do they do that after all of this? I mean, Jerome Powell,
they assured us over and over again, Aaron, that they were going to do the thing that would make it so that the tariffs would come down and the countries would that were bad actors would change their ways. And then Israel decides to get rid of tariff.
And they tariffed them anyway.
Vietnam decides to cut their tariff and they still got the highest tariff. It was such a shame because they missed the opportunity and now they have to pay the price. And it's funny too, because none of this stock market, none of this had to happen. And I feel bad because a lot of people lose money when this happens. I hope people just be calm, be constructive. But the way that they handled it was so Bush League that I was surprised. They really did.
Jim, stop telling people to be calm. That's my thing that I'm trying to share with you all. Folks are not calm. Folks are impatient. People are impatient as they should be because for years and years they're told one thing, and guess what? The opposite occurs. They're promised this, and it never happens. So please spare me when you tell folks, "Oh, just you have to be patient, you have to be calm." No, folks are not calm. Folks are not calm. And we know why folks are also not calm, because this is not like this is a rookie move for Donald Trump. He's been president before. All right. They act like, well, he's trying to, complete what the last administration did. And it was just so minor. Look, y'all have the majority now, so there's no excuse. So, yeah, look, he's putting in these plays. Now, check this out. It says here, Wall Street was plunged into a 2-day rout that erased 6.6 trillion in stock market value after the whole of the new tariffs of Donald Trump. Now, just to, and I'll repeat some of this stuff on the economic impact these tariffs can bring. Obviously, I mentioned about high prices for consumers, increase the cost in imported goods, which can lead to higher prices for consumers. All right. Uncertainties for businesses. Now, frequent changes in trade policies can create uncertainty, discouraging investment and long-term planning. Now, impact on domestic producers. Some U.S. industries like steel, aluminum, may benefit from reduced foreign competition, while others like agriculture and manufacturing could suffer from the lost exports markets, right? This is not helpful whatsoever, my friends. This is going to continue to, and I mean, hey, folks said, we tried to tell you. Now, again, I'm a business owner myself. I have patience. It is early within the second administration of the second term of the Trump administration, but I just think that you just can't take him lightly. You can't take him serious whatsoever. While folks are hurting pockets, there people are losing jobs, they're losing money out of their pockets. The president is recording Tesla commercials on the freaking White House lawn. While folks are hurting and scrambling, this man advertises his a $5 million gold card with his face on it. Yuck. All right. While folks are hurting and people want answers, while while he's giving out the go ahead for GOP members to avoid showing up to their town halls because it's a waste and don't answer any questions and this and any other, he can make the time to visit I don't know, a live golf tournament. You see, you catching my drift? Because here's the thing. The right is easily to criticize the previous administration. Hey, why is he at the beach? Why is he doing this? Why is Biden and look, I'm no supporter, nor am I trying to speak for the last administration, but what I'm saying is call a spade a spade. If y'all criticize and do all this, if y'all know damn well if Biden or if the Obama administration, if they did anything like this, y'all, it will be ammunition for the right to just continue to blast the administration over terrorists. Are you crazy? What is it? You're trying to ruin a relationship with our allies? You're trying to do this and do that? Come on now. It's ridiculous. But you know what's funny? Oh, somebody's already responding back with their own tariffs. Any guesses who that is? No? Are you curious? Well, look, let me go and share with you here who out of all the countries that have been hit with tariffs, who's responding, hitting the US back with some tariffs. It's none other than the one and only China. That's right. So it says here China hits back. Trump imposed 34% tariffs on all U.S. goods. All right. So let me go ahead and read this for you. Says here that China's finance ministry announced recently that it will impose a 34% tariffs on all U.S. imported goods starting within the month of April. This decision follows President Trump's recent tariffs increases. In response, China urged the U.S. to cancel its unilateral tariffs measures and instead resolve trade disputes through equal, respectful, and mutual benefit negotiations. China urges the United States to immediately cancel its. According to CNN, these latest tariffs on China goods exceeds analysts' expectation and could significantly alter economic relations between the two nations, impacting nearly $500 billion in a trade after decades of interdependence. Now, and additionally, China has added 11 American companies, including drone manufacturers, to its unreliable entity list and impose experts controls on 16 U.S. companies, restricting their access to Chinese dual-use items. My friends, that's just one. Trump has imposed this on so many other places. So again, I get it if you're trying to bring more funds, bring more money to the U.S. economy, but there is a way, there's a process to do it. That's literally saying, okay, I have $100,000 to gamble, and I'm gonna gamble all 100,000. Like and this is why, once again, when you have a unintelligent businessman, this stuff happens. Okay, this stuff happens when you have a guy that it was inherit a worth rather than earned his worth. You kind of start seeing, And the older he gets just more grouchy or just mean, just right. Another reason this can impact is geopolitical impacts, right? Strain on trade relations. I mentioned countries targeted by the tariffs may seek alternative trade partners, reducing U.S. influence in global markets. Just like what China just did. Stronger trade blocks. Countries affected by the tariffs may form stronger trade agreements among themselves. As I mentioned, China. And then one last thing, potential for trade wars. If major economies engage in escalating tariff measures, global trade could slow, potentially leading to economic downturns. Again, ladies and gents, you have to be prepared. You have to be ready for what's in store. We just don't know what is on what's capable of occurring right now. I think is that all I want to share about the tariffs. It's just so much I could really discuss about the tariffs. I think it's interesting that you're starting to see a lot of his constituents on the right that is not too thrilled with these implementations that are being brought by this administration. And because once again, if it's one thing that we can all come together on is money. All right, that's bringing people together. So many countries are stronger than ever because of the policies that are trying to be in play under this new administration. I mean, so many groups and like I said, countries are trying to saying, look, it's time we got to stick together. I mean, hell, you got Akon saying, look, Africa will be the most wealthiest country if people would just move back. If everybody would just move back to Africa. Look, there's folks that are saying I'm moving out of the country. I'd rather move out the country to Italy, to somewhere in Spain. I know folks that are talking about Portugal. I mean, there's so many people I've come across on the right and the left that say, you know what, moving out of the country might not be that bad. And I'm just like, well, hey, you do you, whatever floats your boat, my friends. Let me go ahead and digress from this story and moving on, because I got a lot more stuff. I know I kind of stretched this story out a little too long for you, but again, I just want to keep you guys up to speed of what's happening. As I mentioned, I'm still gonna keep staying in the world of politics. So these gold cards, I don't know if y'all, I've heard them talk about it previously, and I was like, what are we talking about? Gold cards? What is this? So, and I'm reading this reported by The Hill. Trump touts $5 million Visa gold card. Anyone wants to buy it? Anybody wants to buy it? So let me go ahead and play you this. Let me go ahead and play this video of Donald Trump flashing the gold card. Let's see here. I can't with this guy, man. I don't know. Hey, funny story I want to share with you all. So when I was a kid, in maybe high school. Yeah, high school. I was in the I took band, like pep band and stuff like that. We took band trips, two, one in New York, one in Chicago. And in Chicago, we got to visit the Trump Towers. And I mean, as a kid, the only thing I knew about Donald Trump was The Apprentice, right? I was a fan of the show. I just knew him as the rich guy that loves money, and that's the Apprentice. And so we had the opportunity to play in Trump Towers, in Chicago, and this was around the time where he had kind of discussed potentially running for president. I remember seeing like a sticker planted in the garage. We had arrived in there, kind of like the back door, kind of in their garage when we arrived to Trump Towers. And I saw like the whole Trump 20 something. I forgot what date it was, because Obama was still during the Obama years. And so when I went there, you saw gold, everything, marble floors. It looked very grand, obviously, but everything had Trump this, Trump that, Trump steaks, Trump jewelry, Trump chocolates, Trump. Everything was Trump. And I was just like, this is a little bit like obnoxious. And this before, again, I knew anything in regards to like, okay, the political side of Trump. This is just me knowing about the public figure side of Trump. And I'm just like, this guy got his face and his name and a lot of stuff. It's kind of like, it's just weird. It's just weird to me. That's just in my opinion. But hey, I'm like, okay, whatever, float your boat. So let me go ahead and play this soundbite, and then I'll read you this article reported by The Hill.
$5 million. For $5 million, this could be yours. That was the first of the cards. You know what that card is? Gold card. It's the gold card. The Trump card, gold card.
Who's the first buyer?
Me.
Who's the second?
I don't know, but I'm the first buyer. It'll be out in about less than 2 weeks, probably. Pretty exciting, right?
You ready for some questions?
Anybody want to buy one? 5 million.
So I would say this. When I first saw this, I thought it was a joke because obviously it was during the week of April Fools. I'm like, okay, this got to be a joke. He can't take this. He can't be doing this seriously, right? I mean, first of all, it's a gold card, but it looks like a little plastic. It doesn't look as worth as a Chuck E. Cheese card or a token or like a David Buster's card. Like it looks like a plain. Someone found, like, created a little poster, laminated, and boom, there you go. Like, it looks very worthless, but apparently it's worth $5 million. It says here, President Trump showed off to his administration new revenue generating $5 million gold card immigrant visa, flashing the Gal pocket sized document with his image emblemized across the front of the card. It says here that for $5 million, this could be yours. Why $5 million? I'm very curious. He then asked a question while he's on Air Force One talking to reporters. Hey, does anybody want to buy one? It says here that the president said that the new pricey investor visa revamp, which he alternated, called the gold card and Trump card, as he waved in front of him, will become available in about less than 2 weeks, is what he said. Trump and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick touted plans recently to end existing EB-5 visa program, commonly known as the investor visa. Now, it says here that replace it with the gold card route to work status and citizenship. Now, it will still require vetting, but will come with a higher price tag. I'm reading a quote here. It says, you have a green card. Well, this is a gold card, Trump said. At the time, wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. Again, so for folks that are, he's welcoming illegal immigrants that are only wealthy. Because, hey, look, for $5 million, you can come. All you gotta do is give me $5 million. You know what I mean? I feel am I making sense here? He's making it easy for those who are not legal citizens. As long as you have money, you're always welcome. But if you don't have it, we gotta ship you back. Is where I'm kind of catching on this one here. It says here they'll be wealthy, they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people, and we think it's going to be extremely successful. Whoo, lordy. According to the administration, thousands of people rushed to sign up, and the idea was announced. The Trump showed a show and tell came a day after he announced sweeping reciprocal tariffs on nearly all the U.S. Foreign trading partners. Now, he has pressed other nations to invest more in the USA and in more of the U.S. and signaled he was open to negotiate. Again, the man is all about the money. That I give him his props, right? Could this work for bringing added funds? Possibly. It just looks I don't know. It looks very interesting. So let me read a little more on this gold card. Let me explain this a little more because this is interesting. So Alrighty. No, that's not what I want. Well, I'll come back to that and talk on another time. But $5 million, wealthy people can come in, employ other folks, do business in here, buy a lot of U.S. stuff, and it's just interesting. It's almost like, I feel like it's like a membership. It's almost like a paid membership. Hey, for all you wealthy foreign officials out there, come do a paid membership in the United States. Come, you can use our resources, you can employ folks, you can do whatever you want here, as long as you pay that membership. That's what it seems like. And hey, it can either tank or it can either be successful. We will continue to follow up. I just why does he have to put his face on is my big question. Why does he always have to put his face on something? Like, he love him some him. Now, hey, that's one thing, man. It is no self-esteem issues with Donald Trump. Let me tell you something. That man think he is hot stuff. He said he got the best tan, the best hair, best clothes. I'm the best. I'm awesome. I look pretty. So put my face on here. My non-smiling face on here. Oh, that is funny. That's some funny stuff. All right, my friends. Look, let's go ahead and take a break. I gotta take a quick breather, and we'll come back. We have a lot more show for you while I try to get something out of my eye. We have a lot more show for you, so don't go anywhere, my friends. We will be back with more here on the Arington Gavin Show. All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arington Gavin Show. Look, got about less than 15 minutes left into the program. I am dying to talk about this story, this conversation. So, for all my progressive listeners out there, shout out. I am I guess you could say I have progressive views. I have bits and pieces of every single thing within the political system. That's why I say I'm a independent. Look, free agent. I don't know if you can see. There we go. A free agent. Shout out to the Cuomo Project, Chris Cuomo. This is from his merch of free agent, man. I'm so tired of the whole political agendas and the titles, the letters in front of them. But I want to talk about this because TYT, the Young Turks, which stands for the Young Turks, has been one of the longest running progressive networks in the world. Let me go ahead and actually look back on exactly how long they have been in existence. I know it's been well over 20 years. Yes, okay, to be exact, 24 years. So it is an American populist progressive news commentary show that live streams on YouTube and Twitch. And additionally it has selected channels. It has multiple shows. It was created by Cenk Hugert, Ben Mancusi, I don't know, and then David Collar. Now, Hugert is a Turkish American, and the name program after the Young Turks movement of the 20th century. Now, he ran for office previously. He ran for I think Congress back in the day, and then he most recently was trying to run for president, but because he wasn't a U.S. born citizen, couldn't do so. I think that's what prevented him. Plus, he started very, very late too. But he has hosted the Young Turks show along with Anna Kasparian for as long as I remember, at least starting to watch it. It started off as like an internet radio program because it premiered in 2002. On Sirius XM satellite radio before launching into a web series in 2005. It grew so high. I mean, they have well over, God bless. Let me see how many views they at least have. Are they giving me that? It's grassroots. You can find it available on literally every single platform. Let's see here. Viewers, there's right. Okay, it says here that the TYT YouTube channel has surpassed 3 billion views. 3 billion views. In 2017, the program's YouTube channel averaged to hit about 2 million views. And subscribers, I mean, they have it's sky's the limit, right? And I tune into it myself. I'm a big fan of Dr. Rashard Ritchie, host of Indisputable. Now I tune into his programs. He's been on, I don't know how long he's been on TYT. He's been on there for some years, but it has really helped beef up his career because you're getting that online presence from him. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because them being one of the most leading progressive networks, check this out. A lot of notable progressives are calling them out. Cenk Uygur, Ana Kasparian, the some of the team members, and just the channel alone. And I'm just like, whoa, where is this coming from? So it all started out when Cenk Uygur was seen sitting down talking with Charlie Kirk at Turning Point USA. Now, Charlie Kirk is a very strong conservative, I would consider far right pundit, host of Charlie Kirk show. He has grown. Turning Point USA is a conservative conference that is catered to build up the young Republicans and young conservatives out there, right? It's for the young people. And so give me 1 second. That's not what I want. And so Cenk has been receiving heat for kind of he's attempting to try and have build some form of a bridge, build some form of like, okay, common ground with folks on the right. People are not happy with that. People are looking at that as a form of hypocrisy, right? Cenk is always criticizing, hey, Congress is bought out. He's criticizing big corporations. He shares so much stuff, right? And so let me see here. Let me just read signal. He's kind of changing his format slightly, right? A lot of folks are saying he's like, oh, he's kind of backing away from his true stances. And almost you can say it's similar to what Morning Joe did, Joe Scarborough and Mika, when they announced that they had went to Mar-a-Lago to sit down and talk with the then President-elect Donald Trump privately. A lot of folks didn't like that because when you looked at those who were a part of the movement of criticizing Donald Trump, it's like, wait, you were front and center, you were helping lead that movement, and now you're saying y'all kind of cool, y'all on speaking terms now, like what? And look, the progressive movement is a movement that you don't want to tick off because they're not for the okie doke. They're like, look, any form of, oh, you want to try and be cordial, traitor this, traitor that. That's why sometimes I can agree with progressive at some points, but at some points I'm just like saying, okay, maybe y'all chill. You know what I mean? Maybe y'all take it a little bit too overboard because look, I'm a guy that I'm all for civil discourse and civil conversations. You won't know how to you won't be able to really find a solution without attempting to have a conversation. Look, Cenk has gone on so many platforms, which again, I would say they have been criticizing him to do so, because he's been on Turning Point USA. He's been on Pierce Morgan. He's been on Fox. He's been on all of the, the PPD. He's been on a lot of conservative shows and channels. I don't think that's a bad thing. For one, Cenk loves to debate. That's his bread and butter. He loves a good debate. But I don't think that's a huge issue. But the issue is, y'all, there has been so many folks who are so anti-Cenk and the network. Some folks have just quit. Some people are even as worse as getting banned. So this is an old article I want to read. A Young Turks contributor quits live on air over their swerve to MAGA. Swerve to MAGA. That's a huge accusation. Especially when, we're seeing progressives fighting progressives now. It's like, dang, where is this coming from? So contributor Mondell Robinson says here, a disappointed and hurt Mondell Robinson, who was a former North Carolina mayor, Enfield, North Carolina mayor, Black Male Voter Project founder, and as well as a contributor of TYT, quit on air because Cenk and Anna Consparian's MAGA swerve. Says here that he was citing concerns about TYT shift towards normalizing MAGA ideologies. He criticized TYT leaderships, including Cenk Uygur and Anna Consparian, for prioritizing mainstream appeal over progressive values, engaging with conservative figures like Glenn Beck. Abandoning the fight against systematic oppression, Robinson emphasized that the need of unwavering commitment to progressive principles, particularly in addressing racial inequities and holding political and media entities accountable. Let's see here. I'm trying to, and I mentioned Pierce Morgan. Robinson highlighted how white figures in progressive spaces can navigate both sides of the political spectrum, while black activists face greater consequences. I don't disagree with him on that. He also says here, he's criticized the TYT for prioritizing clicks. All right, clicks meaning clickbait, right? At the end of the day, people, y'all have to realize TYT is a business. They are a grassroots business. So if they don't receive money from donors, guess what? They're gonna have to receive money some for other way. And a lot of folks do not like, especially, and I'm pretty sure I never really gotten criticized, but I have folks that don't care for when I have say person on the right on, or a person from the left on, right? I get criticized from my liberal friends to say, why in the world did you have this conservative, or this MAGA individual, or this far right person, or this, why did you have this person on? I have folks, my friends on my conservative friends, my friends on the right, that says, why'd you have this liberal on this? And again, I always respond by saying everybody and all people are welcome, as long as you do not promote hate towards an individual or a specific group. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'm always there to have an open conversation, because I feel as though, once again, you learn in conversation. So that just avoiding talking with them, I'm not for it. I don't do it for clickbait. I do it because that is one of the uniqueness things I love about my show, is that all people are welcome. Now, there's folks where, like TYT, look, they've been existing for over 25 years. Strategy always has to change up. You can continue to say, look, I want to just have an audience that is only progressives, or I want to have an audience that can reach out to everybody. Now, look, our main preference might be progressive, but we hope to bring in folks from all sides of the aisle, right? You see, News Nation, their whole mantra is unbiased. So obviously they're there to have people that don't want to be a part of the labels. CNN is trying to be more of a center left network. Fox News is staying a conservative network. I wouldn't say they're far right, but they are staying as a conservative network. Now, Newsmax might be staying far right. And you have other networks and platforms of that nature. But but yeah, when you allow folks, or when you change your ways and that clickbait, now you're bringing in a broader audience, that's going to get to them. So again, they're looking at it as, okay, he's they're getting criticized for not being a part or not continue on their mission, rather than this, let's just make this money and then we Gucci. Mondale Robinson's departure from TYT is a stark reminder of the need for accountability with progressive media. He's not the only one. I had her info. Francisca Fiorentini, I believe. I hope I pronounced it right. Francisca Fior. I don't want to ruin her name, so I apologize. But I'm a fan of hers as well. She's a comedian. She's a progressive political activist. She's a former commentator. Former contributor for TYT and Al Jazeera. She's currently working with Zateo News, that's owned by Mehdi Hassan, a former MSNBC host, and she's also somebody that has heavily criticized TYT. She's even as worse as she got banned from TYT, from the former boss, because they had a falling out, and she's put it on her social media and on her YouTube channel, explaining the video. It was intensive what she explained. They really had a falling out. Not just him, or not just those two. There has been others. Kyle Kozinski, co-host of Crystal Kyle and Friends, as well as the Kyle Kozinski Show, another strong progressive that has a huge following. There's been so many folks that got their start there that is now starting to flow the opposite. And check this out. Before we leave, and I might have to continue this on the next show, they have folks like Dave Rubin, who is a now conservative talker and podcaster, as well as Jimmy Dorn, who the same. They all started at TYT, then they did the shift. And the question is, I want to leave with you all, is this shift due to the monetization value? It's more money to be a conservative talker than it is to be a liberal talker. What's your take on that, my friends? What's your take on that? Is it more money to set us to side with the right than it is with the left when it comes to politicians, when it comes to media personalities? We'll talk a little more about it here on the show. But until next time, my friends, look, y'all be easy. Y'all continue to tune into the Arington Gavin Show. We'll drop new episodes weeknights, available on all digital and streaming platforms. Download the GoatVerse TV app today. Also follow us on all of our social media platforms at the Arington Gavin Show, as well as on the streaming platforms too. I appreciate you. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. I am out.